A long, long time ago, I can still remember when I tested this China piece of dreck. That's Yiddish for shit, or maybe German or something. And it's all related anyway. The Starburst light from China. Yay! Okay, what you're seeing there is China quality, folks. Anyway, I thought these were kind of cool, okay? And pretty much the deal with this was, I said this would be great hanging up by Club J. But we got a problem. The problem is, batteries ain't going to fly. Okay, we're just not doing batteries. It's got to be powered off of all of the other lights. I have 5 volts in the ceiling. This is 4 1.5 volt batteries. 4 times 1.5 is 6. I'd imagine that if these batteries get low, it could run on 5 without a problem. But gee, note there. Looks like a 9 volt battery connector, doesn't it? Looks like a 9 volt battery connector there, doesn't it? Okay, so all I would need in that case is a 9 volt battery snap. We'll snap it on there. It doesn't need to be waterproof anymore, so I could just drill a hole in this and snake the wire out, and this way you keep the little hangy thing, and yay, and all kinds of great stuff. But the problem is, I'm not going to be fucking around with a remote every time I turn on the lights. I'm not going to run around and turn on 74 different miscellaneous extra China things. I just need it to be on. So, we have a little work to do. This is the base, and like I said, I can get a 9 volt battery snap for that, and I've actually ordered them from Fleabay. It has a button here that you can click. So, the problem is when you put the batteries in, see if you could see that there, nothing happens until you press the button, and then it'll do its thing. Now, it starts off with combination, which I would say is probably the best option because it kind of cycles through all the bullshit modes that are there. So that's probably what I would want it at anyway. The batteries just kind of fall out, so I'll have to squeeze the little connectors together a little bit better. And we'll see how it is with the 9 volt pack. But like I said, I can't have this not turn on when it gets power. So how do we solve that? Well, it's got a button and a China remote that's infrared. I don't know if it'll show. Yeah, there you go. So we need to find a way to do that. Fortunately, I don't need to do much of anything. What I'm going to do is hold the button down. You can hear it click, so we'll click it in, and then I'll take the batteries and watch. I don't have a good connection. Let me get it in there. I'll keep holding the button just so I could snap it in. Okay, there. Now it's sorted together, and I'm still holding the button. Now you say, well, if the button is held down, you're never going to be able to turn it off. Well, A, it probably won't need to be, or I wouldn't want it to be turned off. Anyway, I just want all the lights going in one shot. So that's, I just lost connection again because I'm trying to hold everything, and you see my finger is like turning white there from pressing it. But what's really cool is that if the button is held down, it'll automatically go on to combination mode. And if you lose power and reapply power, it boots back up into combination mode. Here's the cooler part. The remote still works. I just turned it off. I can turn it on. I can change modes and do whatever, still holding the button. So it works. It just requires somehow getting that switch in there. So the first thing that I want to do, because these batteries, some of these are like, you know, heavy duty, non-alkaline batteries. This might be an alkaline here. That's a Duracell Pro Cell. Here's a Duracell from 2011. So these batteries are not in tip-top shape. So first things first, let's put a meter on that and see what we read. If we're reading close to 5 volts, then that's a great thing, and we'll carry on from there. So we have our top quality Harbor Freight meter. Let's see if I can get this without getting too much in the way. And I don't care about polarity here. Oh, look at that, right on the mark. 5.12, and it works fine. So guaranteed this will work on 5 volts without any problem whatsoever. So that was the first hurdle. All right, now what we need to do, and I'm not going to wire this up today. This is going to be a future project sometime maybe over the winter if it's like a nice snowy day and I'm bored and I decide that I want to put up more Chinese or something. So we'll put that aside. Hopefully I won't break this, and we're just going to investigate and see if this can be done in a reasonable fashion. If you'll note, there are 3 screws in there. Let me get a screwdriver and we'll unscrew those. Here is my Exolite, German-made, double-aught Phillips. Perfect fit. So we'll take out the screws and see how this is put together. I have never taken this apart. Oh, they're long. Well, one wants to stay behind. Maybe it's not unscrewed all the way. Or it's just stuck. It's loose-ish. Oh, it's coming. Okay, what we have is the wire with its little silicone jobby, probably, there we are. There, it actually fits through if you push. So we'll get enough slack that we can look comfortably at this. Oh, now the rubber thing popped out. Wonderful. Not exactly what I wanted. Shit. Well, this is going to be more cumbersome than I had anticipated. Okay, that's out, and I think the board will come free. No, it actually pushed through the circuit board. Great. There is a screw that is holding it to the plastic thing, so let's remove that. That's a different screw, so we'll hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. Aha. Okay, the switch. Oh, maybe. I don't know. It looks like the battery is not soldered to the switch. It's just nearby it. Now the switch itself, I have a couple of options here. One thing I could do is jam it in position and hold it with like a little screwdriver or stick or something and pot it in hot glue. And the other would be to try to solder across, maybe, it looks like these 2 pins, I don't know if you can see, are soldered and these aren't. So perhaps all we need to do is short across them. I'm going to get some alligator clip wires and I'll see if I can test it. It's tough because, like I said, the battery doesn't want to stay and it's just Chinesium and all that. Great. So it's going to be a pain in the balls to hook this up. And I don't want to lose this circuit board because if I just applied power to these wires, it's just going to, all the lights are probably just going to go on solid and that's it. So that's out of the question. So I do need to keep the circuit board in there, and let me see what I can do. I can't promise I'll get it on camera, but we'll try to test it nonetheless. Okay, my hands are going to block everything, I can promise you that, but I'm going to try to touch the wires to the points on the board in question, and we'll see if it lights up. It does. And I'm definitely not pressing the button. If I tap it again, they change. So that's it. All I would need to do is, like this is going to go over well, solder a wire across that. Or theoretically, I could desolder the switch, take it out completely, and just put a jumper in there and be done with it. This is not the kind of soldering job that I'm even going to attempt on camera because everything is so tiny. I'm going to have to use some really thin, tiny wire, and it's going to suck. And it was a 2-pack, so I got to do it to 2 of them. But the good news is the remote still works, so if I wanted to change modes or turn it off, I can, while the rest of the lights are still on. Obviously, if I kill the rest of the lights, it loses power and it just goes dead, and that's that. I could even probably put the timer function on for what it's worth and, you know, just keep this up in the rafters there, up in the ceiling, and call it good. So it looks like this is definitely going to work. It's just a matter of making it work. And of course splaying these out so they look more like a Starburst kind of looking Starbursty thing. So I think that would add, you know, some kind of coolish ambiance to the thing and whatever. And let's see. Now it's off, and here's the first mode. So it does this back and forth jobby for a bit, and it slows down, and then it flashes alternately, and then it goes faster. Yay. And faster yet. Is that all it's going to do, or is it actually going to go in the modes that it's... Maybe that's all it'll do, and I can change modes. Well, this is fine as it is. No, see, now it's fading. That one goes, and then it'll dim out, and then the middle ones go. So with some soldering, I can make this work. Not going to be a fun job, I can tell you that. I'm going to have to do this wearing glasses with a magnifier, which my little helping hands actually have, but oh, it's going to be a very painstaking process, and I better hope that wire does not come off. I mean, it's just a tiny little bodge wire I have to put on there. Not a big deal, really, but for my old eyes. Anyway, enough wasting your time. It's possible, and perhaps, possibly in the future, we'll make this happen. So thank you for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.